Some years ago, we were in a really significant drought. We had gone around 7 months without any significant rain, and in the South, that doesn't work. And at the time, Tammy and I were living in a nice golf course community. And I had a conversation with my neighbor in my nice golf course community about how high his water bill had been for his artificial irrigation system. Let he that has an ear to hear, we are paying a high price for an artificial irrigation system. Some of you this morning went to pay a visit to an artificial irrigation system. And if all you want to do is water your little yard, an artificial irrigation system will work just fine. But if you want to provide water for people who know nothing about nor care anything about your little artificial irrigation system, then we're going to need rain. I left my neighbor who was telling the preacher, we got to pray for rain, or I may have to rip this sod up and replace it. But I drove back to my hometown, which is about 2.5 hours from there, and there I ran into a man that I grew up with by the name of Mr. Jones, who farmed about 9,000 acres of cotton. Mr. Jones was not a believer, but he was a good man. Hardworking farmer, worked 7 days a week, year round. And he'd never talked to me about the Lord. He knew that I was a preacher, but he'd never talked to me about the Lord before, Kevin. But this day he pulled his truck up next to mine, he rolled the window down, and with tears in his eyes, he said, "Preacher, we need rain." And I realized everybody knew we needed rain. But one of them had to have it. One of them had to have it. And I don't know in America if we haven't gotten so good at putting in artificial irrigation systems that can water our little yards that we even recognize that there is an entire world that is waiting to drink of the love of God that is poured out from the heavens. And that is the blessing that there is not room enough to receive. Open the windows of heaven and pour a blessing out. There's not room enough to receive. I swung out of my truck and I grabbed little Mr. Jones. He fit right here up under my arm, and I said, "Mr. Jones, we're going to pray right now. God, give us rain." And as we begin to pray, that dusty hood of that green Ford F-150 pickup truck got hit with a spot. And got hit with a spot. And got hit with a spot. And I saw that man lift up his eyes like he could not believe what he had just seen. And I feel a spot hitting a spot, hitting a spot in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Lift up your eyes